Hey everybody, I'm super excited to reveal the new theme to you. But before I do, there's some people I want you to meet. So let me share my screen with you and let's meet these people and see if we can figure out what the new theme is. Okay, so let's get started. Here we go. Okay, here's the first person I want you to meet. This person's name is Jaquil Jackson. And Jaquil is someone who works to give money to homeless people. And he founded a project that's called Project I Am. And what he does is he creates bags for homeless folks, and they're called blessing bags. And they have snacks and toiletries, so like toothpaste and a toothbrush, maybe soaps, things like that, and socks, and gives them out to people that don't have homes or houseless people in his community. And so far, he's donated more than 3,000 bags to people in his community. He lives in a city called Chicago, which is in Illinois, it's in our country. So this is a kid, Jaquil Jackson, who's started a foundation to help homeless people. This is a really important woman in history. Her name is Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was a slave. She escaped from slavery. This was a long time ago. She escaped from slavery, and she helped other slaves also escape from slavery and find freedom. And she helped with something called an underground railroad. And it wasn't really a railroad, but it was an underground network of places where slaves could escape from where they're living, and they could go from safe house to safe house to safe house and find their way to safety up in the north part of our country. So she was really brave and really amazing at helping many people find freedom. It's Harriet Tubman. Okay, this is someone named Nicholas Levinger. And Nicholas, when he was maybe like around 11, he noticed that there was a brother and sister who would take turns going to school. So one would come to school one day and one would come to school the next day. And he discovered that the reason they took turns coming to school was because they only had one pair of shoes and they had to share those shoes. So they got to go to school on the day when they had those shoes. So Nicholas thought, gosh, I'm going to do something to help out. And he gave the boy a pair of sneakers. And then he started an organization that's called Gotta Have Soul. And with this organization, he has helped kids that are homeless get shoes. So then they have shoes to wear. So he has donated shoes to over 99,000 children. Did you hear that? Over 99,000 children have gotten shoes because of the program that he started, which is called Gotta Have Soul. So he noticed a problem with that kids that were homeless needed shoes, and he decided he was going to do something to help out. Nicholas Levinger. Okay, and this is Julia Butterfly Hill. Now, she was someone who wanted to protect the trees. She's sitting up tall, up high in a redwood tree here. And there was a grove of trees that were going to be cut down. They were going to be logged. And she wanted to protect the trees and the animals that lived in the trees. There are some animals that make those trees their homes, and that's exactly where they live, and they don't live in other types of forests. And so she wanted to protect the redwood forests and the animals that live there. So this grove, or this stand of trees, was going to be cut down. And she wanted to protect them. So what she did was she climbed up in this tree and she lived there, because no one wanted to cut down the tree if she was living there, because it would harm her. So she lived in this tree, protecting this area of forest for over 2 years. Can you imagine living in a tree for over 2 years? And then by the end of that time, she did such important work that she made a deal with people who were in charge of that area to protect that part of the forest so that it would never get cut down. So her important work really made a difference. She really did get to change the world. All these people so far are doing very important work. So Julia Butterfly Hill, protecting the trees, the environment. This is Katherine Johnson. And now she was a mathematician, and she did some really amazing, hard math calculations. And she helped she worked for NASA. That's the like the space shuttles and astronauts and getting people into space. But the work that she did helped get the first Americans into space. And there's even been a movie about her, which kind of helped a whole bunch of us in modern times get to know who she was. But she did really important math calculations that helped us get people into space. So Katherine Johnson. And this is Alexa Grabel. And she noticed that there were kids who maybe didn't have enough money to have books to read during the summer, that they could read books when they were at school during the school year, but in the summer, maybe they didn't have enough money or they didn't have family who would help them get to the library so that they could have books to read. So when she was 10 years old, she started an organization called Bags of Books. And they delivered books to kids who needed books in the summer. And they gave out more than 120,000 books. So she started that when she was 10. Yeah, that's not too much older than you, is it? She was 10 when she started doing that. This is a really important person, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela lived in South Africa, and he was someone who wanted to make sure that everyone was treated fairly, no matter what their skin color or what ethnicity they were. And so he fought for discrimination to end, for the racism to end, and for everyone to be treated fairly. And he did really important work throughout his life. He had to go to jail for a while. He became president. He did really amazing things in his country to help Black people and white people be treated equally. This is Yash Gupta. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that name, but that's how I would say it. And Gupta noticed that one time he broke his glasses. You can tell he wears glasses. And he had to wait a whole week to get new glasses. And I imagine he had a hard time seeing, just like I would if I didn't have my glasses. Well, he noticed that that was a problem. That could be a problem for other kids too. And so he thought, gosh, what do people who don't have the money to get glasses, what do they do? And he really started thinking that this might be a problem that he could help solve. And so he read somewhere that there were 12 million children around the world that were living without the kinds of glasses that he needed. So he started an organization that was called Sight Learning, and they collect glasses from people who don't need them anymore, or who need, like sometimes you need to get a new prescription, so your old ones don't work for your eyes anymore. But he collected people's old glasses and gave them to people who could use them. So he's giving out over $1.5 million worth of eyewear and glasses to people that need them in different countries. So that is an amazing thing to do. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a term now. All these people that I just taught you about and introduced you to, amazing, amazing, amazing people. These people are called movers and shakers. And you can see it says that on the screen here, movers and shakers. Okay, so what do you think they all have in common? What's something that these people have in common? I want you to think about it for a minute. I want you to tell me, what do all of these people have in common? They are movers and shakers. What does that mean? Yeah, let's see. They're amazing people. And they are people that change the world. They're moving and shaking things around. So if things were to stay the same, they would just be like this. But they take the way it is and they move it and shake it all around and make the world a better place. They change the world. They're movers and shakers. That's our theme. Our theme is movers and shakers. We're going to learn about so many amazing people in this world that are doing things to change the world. There's so many. We'll learn about some, but there'll still be so many out there that we won't get a chance to learn about. And you'll have a chance in this theme to do your own project and study a mover and shaker that you want to share with our class. So movers and shakers are people that change the world. Okay, so I want you to now go to your family and ask them for your book. I was trying to keep it a secret for a little bit so you wouldn't know the theme right away. So you should have a book that looks like this. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a minute with you. Okay, so you should have a book that looks like this. Movers and Shakers Change the World by, put your name here. So go ahead, pause me and go get that book. And the first thing I just want you to do is put your name here, okay? So go ahead and do that. Okay, hi. So you should have your book and it should have your name on it, like I wrote mine by Becky. And I want you to open up to the first page. The first page up here says movers and shakers are. Now, what did we say movers and shakers are? What are movers and shakers? Movers and shakers are people that change the world. And now I'm going to share my screen again with you just to show you. Here we go. Movers and shakers. And then down here, this part says people that change the world. So you can pause the video and just copy those words right here, up here on the top, okay? Movers and shakers are people that change the world. So pause the video and go ahead and write that on those lines. Movers and shakers. And that part is already on your paper. You just have to write people that change the world. Movers and shakers are people that change the world. Or if you have a different way that you want to say it, you can write that down too. Okay. Okay, you should be back if you finish that. Now the next part of our book here says, who can be movers and shakers? And it says, draw a picture that shows who can be movers and shakers. Now I want you to think about that. And then I have a video we're going to watch. Who do you think can be a mover and shaker? We learned examples of all kinds of people. Did we see any girls that could be movers and shakers? Yeah. Did we see any women, grown-up women? Did we see any boys? Did we see any men? Did we see people of different ethnicities? Or people with different colored skin, different abilities? Yeah, they're all kinds of people. Let's watch this video that I have for you and see what it's Kid President. It's a little bit funny. So let's watch. I think you'll like it. But Kid President is going to talk to us a little bit about how to change the world. And remember, movers and shakers are people that change the world. So it's okay if you laugh. There's some funny parts.
There are lots of ideas how you can change the world. Some people think you should just complain about it. That won't change the world. It'll just make it mad. Some people think you have lots of money. Make it rain everywhere you go. Holla for a dollar. Some people think you have to be really loud and yell a lot. It's like with a bullhorn shouting, "Hey you, yeah you, do it my way right now, you heard?" Other people choose to just make fun of everything. That's dumb, everyone's dumb. It's easy to make fun of stuff, but it's cooler to make stuff. Some people think changing the world can only be done by the smartest person in the world. Just put them in a room, let them figure it out. The solution of world hunger? Food. Wow, that was like so amazing. Some people see the bad in the world and they just decide to ignore it. But that won't help anything. Some people think you have to be really famous and super cool. In fact, lots of people think you have to be really powerful to make a difference. Like being mayor or senator or president. But the truth is, a title doesn't make you more important. The world is changed by you. It's one person filled with love. And they just have to live it out. So they do something awesome. Then that person is filled with love. And they do something awesome. It just goes on and on and on and on. And the next thing you know, everything's awesome. Some people think it's impossible to change the world.
It's impossible to change the world.
Well, you can see why they could think that. Living in the world with kids who are hungry, people who are homeless, families who aren't happy. I'm just trying to figure it out like everybody else, man. I do know this, though. Next time you feel overwhelmed or totally alone, remember this. Things don't have to be the way they are. The world is changed by ordinary people. Little people living out big love. That's what gives the world a reason to dance. So, how do we change the world? At the start of this year, I asked all you guys to make the year more awesome. Time to be awesome now. To make this year awesome for somebody else. Whether it's helping the homeless this October, throwing a parade for somebody, or giving an inspired gift. You can see my holiday gift guide by clicking here. You help prove that the internet can be an awesome place. Thank you, but we're not done yet. This coming year, let's show the world what awesome really looks like.
Subscribe.
Okay, we're going to stop it there. So you can see Kid President, even though this was, many years ago, Kid President made this video. Kid President has lots of ideas for how to change the world. And what did Kid President say? What kind of person changes the world? An ordinary person filled with love. Yeah, you have to be a person filled with love. You're filled with love, another person filled with love, another person filled with love, and you can do something to change the world. What an amazing idea.
Love.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so these words say, who can be a mover and shaker? Who can be a mover and shaker? Let's see. Anyone can be a mover and shaker. Like Kid President said, if you're filled with love and you are inspired, you can be a mover and shaker. So this part of your book down here, it says, draw a picture that shows who can be movers and shakers. So in this box, I want you to draw a picture of the people that you think can be movers and shakers. And I bet your picture will look something similar to this, with all kinds of people, all different ages, all different ethnicities, all different abilities. Anyone can be a mover and shaker. Remember, Kid President said, if you're filled with love, you can be a mover and shaker. You can do something big to change the world. You can do something little that changes the world. Little things also help change the world. And you can be a mover and shaker. So go ahead now, pause me. You can keep that picture up if you want to. And I want you in this box to draw that picture of who can be movers and shakers. Okay, are you back? Okay, there's one final question that I have for you. The final question that I have for you is down on the bottom of this page. And it says, can you be a mover and shaker? What do you think? So either yes or no. I want you to sound out those words. Can you be a mover and shaker? Okay, that's your last question to answer. That's it for today. Okay. I am so super excited about this theme. I've been learning about lots of movers and shakers, And I have some really important ones that I want to share with you. The ones that we'll be learning most about are kids. There's lots of kids in this world that are movers and shakers, and they're doing important work. And so we will learn about some kids. And you might even get some clues if you look at the cover of our book of 3 kids that we will be learning about. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you're as excited as I am for our new theme, Movers and Shakers. It's going to be amazing. And I hope that it'll even inspire us to be movers and shakers ourselves. Okay, everyone, I'll see you later. Have a beautiful day.